Hey, this is C&D Channel. I'm Chris. This is also Chris, and this is MMA for you. We're going to be doing our predictions for UFC 171, Hendricks versus Lawler, which happens on March 15th. Any words to say about this card, my man?
Let's see. We got Johny Hendricks on the card, Carlos Condit, Diego Sanchez, huh?
Yeah, Diego Sanchez. He's fighting
Jake Shields.
Yeah, Shields. Lombard.
Oh, Lombard's on it too. Oh,
yeah, Lombard's on it too. Yeah.
I don't know. UFC 171 looks like stacking up to be a pretty solid card, and yeah, why don't we just get right to the predictions?
Sure. You're gonna be able to watch it on good old Q's Lounge. Yeah.
Q's Lounge.
Q's Lounge, man. Right?
Rexy, where you at? Also, stop by the Boiler Room in Garden Grove, and yeah, I think they have a new buffet or something. So.
New buffet.
Plug in the buffet. $10.99.
$10.99 buffet plus fights, right?
Shameless.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shameless plug. Okay.
Like that, Rexy? $10.99 buffet. If I bring my host in, maybe you could hook us up.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I like free food.
Free buffet.
Free buffet is cool, man.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get right to it on the main card, the main event for the vacant welterweight title. We have Johny Hendricks versus ruthless Robbie Lawler. I gotta go Johny Hendricks, man. I think he is the uncrowned UFC welterweight champion. Even though I picked GSP to win his last fight, I thought Hendricks won, and I think he wins this fight. Who do you got, man?
He's fighting Robbie Lawler. Let's talk about Robbie Lawler just for a second, and then
Sure.
I'll give you my prediction. He is on a 3-fight win streak. Trains at ATT. He's got heavy hands, good kickboxing, good takedown defense. He's very experienced. He's a veteran, obviously, and I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna go with Johny Hendricks. After watching the GSP fight a couple times, I don't know. I mean, he's looked very impressive, and I don't see Robbie. I mean, Robbie Lawler's a great fighter too, but I don't see him, beating Johny Hendricks if Johny Hendricks is in the same form that he was against GSP.
With Lawler, man, I mean, out of his 22 wins, 18 of them are by KO or TKO. Out of his 9 losses, 5 of them are by sub. Don't think you have to worry about that against Hendricks. He will probably have to worry about the wrestling along with the stand-up. Hendricks, man, this guy's left hand is dynamite. Training out of Team Takedown, one-punch KO power. Just ask John Fitch. Just ask Martin Kampman about that. Among other fighters. The guy's just strong. I mean, this guy, seriously, GSP guys go for a single. The guy just slides on one of his feet as if it's like a kid trying to take down his dad. His takedown defense is good. He's good in the clinch, and his dirty boxing is really good. I gotta go with Johny Hendricks to win this one. I already said that already, though.
Yeah, I got Hendricks too.
Okay, on the co-main event, we got more welterweights as Carlos Condit fights Tyron Woodley. Man, this is a tough fight to call. One thing you got to say with this fight, Condit is always pushing forward, high output of strikes, always active from his back, from top, and standing. He's always pushing forward. Woodley, improving boxing, heavy hands, knocked out Josh Koscheck in his last fight, but he also has that wrestling too. If it doesn't look good on the stand-up, he can always take the fight to the ground. But who do you got here, man?
Oh, this one's pretty tough. Can you tell me how Condit's been doing?
Condit just most recently beat Martin Kampman in the 4th round by TKO. He lost his 2 fights before that.
Some tough fights, right?
But one of them was GSP, and the other one was Hendricks. So,
okay.
Yeah, and even then, a lot of people, there was a contingent of fans that felt Condit beat Hendricks.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Carlos Condit. I mean, I like the guy. I like watching him fight. I think he did pretty well against GSP, right?
He sure did. He head kicked him, even knocked him down.
So if he beats Woodley, is there a possibility for fighting Hendricks for some sort of
Well, the winner of Hendricks versus Lawler.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, man.
Yeah. Man, one thing that's interesting, Condit, 29-7 record, 14 wins by KO or TKO, 13 wins by sub.
Very well balanced.
Yeah, well balanced and a potent finisher as well. He's 29 years old, training out of Jackson's. He's a former UFC interim welterweight champion. His cardio is amazing, and that's the other thing too. Tyron Woodley historically has shown to have some pretty weak cardio. Carlos is also really good off his back. He's strong at the scrambles. He's got a good chin. Kickboxing's good. He's kicks, knees. But he does have some weaknesses. His overall defense and takedown defense isn't that good. Tyron Woodley, I would say his weakness would be the cardio. And then he can lay and pray at times, which could be seen as a weakness, could be seen as a strength. Regardless, we got Carlos Condit winning this one.
Yeah, I think Lamprey is pretty lame. But anyways, go.
Next fight after that, we have a prospect in Myles Jury fighting Diego the Dream Sanchez. Myles Jury's got some good wins under his belt. He beat Michael Johnson, kind of knocked out Ramsey Nijem. This guy is pretty legit. 13-0 undefeated record, 6 wins by KO or TKO, 5 wins by sub. 25 years old, training out of Alliance. He's a good wrestler, good top control, solid Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills, and his stand-up is improving. Who do you got, though, my man?
Yeah, who do you got?
I got Myles Jury, man. I know that I'm going with the up-and-comer to beat the established veteran in Diego Sanchez. I love Diego Sanchez. I love his style. I think he's going to be in Myles Jury's face the whole fight. But I think Myles Jury is a guy that's coming up. I think he's going to win. Who do you got, man?
I'm going to talk about Diego Sanchez real quick.
Sure.
He trains at Jackson's. He's a veteran, very experienced, strong cardio. Pushes forward, very aggressive, resilient. Brawler, strong chin, good wrestling, strong ground and pound, good top control, weak defense. Having said all that, I'm going to respectfully disagree with you, and I'm going to go with Diego Sanchez for the win.
Cool. Okay, next fight after that. Hector Lombard fights Jake Shields. I think both these guys... No, I think Hector does have a nickname. Interesting fight here, man. Hector Lombard is a ginormous welterweight. He's 33-4 record with 1 draw, 1 no contest. 19 wins by KO or TKO, 7 wins by sub. 36 years old, training out of ATT. He's got a judo base, really strong judo. Heavy-handed, 1-punch KO power. Good boxing, which he uses mainly counter punches. His cardio, though, is not very good. Who do you got here, man?
Did you say you got Hector?
I got Hector, man. Who do you got, man?
I'm going to talk about Jake Shields real quick. He's on a 2-fight win streak. Trains at Cesar Gracie. Strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Good top control. Good clinch. Good wrestling. Weak striking. Strong chin. Going with Jake Shields for the win.
Okay. Next fight after that, Nikita Krylov makes his first cut to 205 pounds as he fights OSP, Ovince St. Preux. Nikita Krylov was something of a joke in the MMA world, actually. He fought Soa Palele on one of the prelims before and had one of the most comically bad heavyweight fights. I thought this guy would amount to nothing and would get booted off the UFC as soon as possible. Next fight, does a question mark kick on Walt Harris, knocks him down, ground and pounds, beats him like 2 minutes in the first round, if not less. All of a sudden, you realize, man, this guy has a good amount of fights under his belt, decent stand-up, only 22 years old. Maybe he's actually a prospect. Ovince St. Preux, though, made his name in Strikeforce as he has a 14-5 record. 7 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. He's 30 years old on a 3-fight win streak. He's really athletic, he used to be a football player, actually. Stand-up's good. He's got some heavy hands, knocked out a lot of guys. His wrestling is improving. His cardio isn't that great. I got to go with OSP to win this one. Ovince St. Preux. I am actually a fan of Nikita Krylov, though. He's a guy that just totally surprised me. Who do you got, my man?
Did you mention Krylov is a great finisher?
Oh, no.
He's a great finisher. He's got good stand-up, good kicks, and...
he's never been to decision, either.
Yeah, that's what it means to be a good finisher, right?
Well...
You finish your fight, right? No decisions.
No decisions.
That's a critical...
And his losses, too.
You know, statistic.
Yeah.
So I got OSP, though, too.
OSP? Okay, cool. On to the prelims, which will be on Fox Sports 1. We have Ultimate Fighter winner Kelvin Gastelum fighting Rick the Horror Story. Gastelum, 7-0 undefeated record, made his name from getting the upset win over Uriah Hall. Next fight after that, rear naked chokes Brian Melanson. 3 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. Only 22 years old. He is a good wrestler, always pushing forward. Stand-up is improving. Rick the Horror Story, 16-7 record, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. He's 29 years old. He has some good offensive wrestling. His takedown defense, surprisingly for a guy whose wrestling is pretty good, he has been taken down by almost every opponent he's fought in the UFC. Just about almost all of them. He's very aggressive, always pushing forward. He used body punches. He has good leg kicks, good ground and pound, and a good chin. I'm going to go with Rick's Story to win this one. Wouldn't, but I expect Kelvin Gastelum to have a very good showing. Who do you got?
Yeah, I think it's going to be competitive too, but I'm going to go with Rick's Story.
Rick's Story. Okay, nice. Okay, we got a women's fight here as Raquel Rocky Pennington fights Jessica Batistaka Andrade. What do you know about these female fighters, my man?
I don't know crap about these female fighters.
Okay.
But I can tell you Raquel Pennington has good boxing and good takedown defense.
Yeah. She's not super experienced. She has a 4-3 record with 1 win by TKO, 1 win by sub. 25 years old. Came from the Ultimate Fighter. For that, she fought in Invicta. Jessica Andrade, had a pretty tough first fight in the UFC against Liz Carmouche, losing by TKO. She came back and went all Vanderlei Silva on Rosie Sexton. She has a 10-3 record, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 5 wins by sub. She also has 2 losses by KO or TKO. She's 22 years old. She's got a good guillotine. There's a good amount of her submission wins are by guillotine. Her stand-up is improving, but she's kind of a brawler, as I said. She's always pushing forward. I will go with Jessica Andrade to win this one. Who do you got, my man?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. Jessica Andrade.
Okay, cool. Next fight after that, Dennis the Menace Bermudez fights Jimy Hettes. Who do you got, man?
I got Jimy Hettes, actually.
Yeah, he's pretty good, yeah.
Strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, sloppy stand-up. Weak stand-up defense, hopefully it goes to the ground. Jimy Hettes.
Jimy Hettes really made a name for himself when he fought Nam Phan and dominated him. The guy has an 11-1 record, 10 wins by submission. 1 win by decision. He's 26 years old, so he's still pretty young. And like you said, his judo is really good, and his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is top-notch. I think the guy's like a purple belt. He's sandbagging. This guy's got to be a brown or black. Dennis Bermudez, though, 12-3 record. 3 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. He also has 3 losses by submission. He's 27 years old on a 5-fight win streak. The guy is just strong. I mean, you see, like, Steven Siler, for example, jump to get a guillotine. Dennis Bermudez will seriously just throw him, like, slam him to the ground to get out of the guillotine. Super aggressive, pushes forward, very resilient. His wrestling's good. His ground and pound's really good. His top control's good. Stand-up is super reckless, and his stand-up defense is atrocious. I say that because this guy has been rocked or wobbled or dropped by almost every opponent he's fought. I kid you not when I say that, too. Nonetheless, Jimy Hettes, if you watch the Marcus Brimage fight, did not show the greatest stand-up himself, and his defense wasn't there as well. I gotta go Dennis Bermudez to win that one. Okay, next right after that, we have the Dominican Nightmare, Alex Garcia, fighting Sean Spencer. You know anything about these guys, man?
I know Sean Spencer's on a 2-fight win streak. Good boxing, good takedown defense. I got Sean Spencer, actually.
Yeah, Spencer, solid fighter, 11-2 record, 2 wins by KO TKO, 2 wins by sub, has those 2 losses by sub. He is a solid boxer. He's a very solid fighter. He's not a one-punch KO type of guy, but he'll throw good combinations. He can defend takedowns pretty well. He's a guy that's pretty high output. He's not a potent finisher. I think that's one of his biggest drawbacks, but otherwise a solid fighter. Alex Garcia, though, man, people have been talking about this guy, and when he first fought in the UFC against Benoit, knocked him out, man. 11-1 record, 5 wins by KO or TKO, 5 wins by sub. He's only 26 years old on a 5-fight win streak. Trains out of TriStar. Guy's got some heavy hands, some good stand-up. He's a good wrestler himself. I gotta go with the Dominican Nightmare here, Alex Garcia, for the win. I am very curious to see his progression in the UFC. He's a guy I'm keeping my eye out for.
Okay,
on the prelims on the UFC Fight Pass, we have Hene Forch versus UFC newcomer Frank Trevino. What's kind of funny about this fight? Hene Forch, 8-3 record, 2 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. He also has 2 losses by KO or TKO. He's 26. He's a solid fighter. He has good stand-up and good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but he's one of the more nondescript guys. I mean, he's just he's good, but he's not great. And quite honestly, Frank Trevino isn't anything to write home about either. But he is 11-0 undefeated, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 4 wins by sub. He's 32 years old, training out of Macaco to Gold Team. This is his first fight in the UFC. I've seen him fight in Legacy. He looked pretty good. I'll go Frank Trevino to win this one. I almost always underestimate Hene Forch, though. Who do you got, man?
I got Rene Forte.
Cool. Okay, next fight after that, we have Will Campuzano versus Justin Scoggins. Got any information on these guys, my man?
I got some info on Mr. Scoggins.
Sure.
8-0 undefeated. Christ-style stand-up. Good cardio. Strong kicks.
Mm-hmm.
I got Justin Scoggins.
Yeah, Scoggins, man. 8-0 undefeated. 6 of his wins by KO or TKO. 1 win by sub. The guy's only 21 years old, training out of American Top Team. I mean, this guy, like you said, his stand-up is... He'll go for a lot of different types of kicks, too, like side kicks and whatnot. And he can keep it up for a pretty long time. I've seen him go 5 rounds, actually, until he knocked out a guy with a hook kick, or I forgot what it was. It was a pretty amazing kick, though. Campuzano, though, solid flyweight himself. 13-5 record with 6 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. He also has 2 losses by submission. Only 27 years old. He has some solid stand-up and some good wrestling. He's a good all-around fighter, had a good fight against Sergio Pettis. Didn't win that one, but looked good nonetheless. But another guy I am keeping an eye out for is Justin Scoggins, man. I'm going with Justin Scoggins. Keep an eye out for this kid. He looks pretty incredible. Okay, next right after that. Robert Bubba McDaniel fights Sean Strickland. You got another UFC comer in Sean Strickland. He's 13-0, undefeated, 7 wins by KO TKO, 3 wins by sub. He's only 23 years old. He's a King of the Cage veteran. Seeking to fight on short notice. Does have some decent wrestling, good ground and pound. It'll be his first fight in the UFC. You know anything about Bubba McDaniel, my man?
I do. He trains at Jackson's. Good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, how many wins by sub does he have?
He's got quite a few. He's got 16. So
16.
I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with Sean Strickland. Or actually, I'm going with Robert Bubba McDaniel.
Yeah, man. Bubba, man. I'm going with Strickland.
Yeah, I'm going with Bubba.
But McDaniel, 21-7 record. 4 wins by KO TKO, 16 wins by sub. He's 30 years old. Training at Jackson's nice. The The reason why I'm not picking Bubba McDaniel, he's a guy I tend to underestimate as well. He's a good enough fighter, good enough for the UFC. He's never struck me as great. His ground game is pretty strong. Otherwise, I've been largely unimpressed with the guy. I'll go with an undefeated younger fighter to get the win here. And finally, we have Daniel Pineda versus Robert Whiteford. Robert Whiteford has a 10-2 record, 5 wins by KO TKO, 1 submission win by strikes. He's 30 years old. He trains out of Dinky Ninjas and ATT. The thing about Dinky Ninjas is the other notable fighter that fights out of there is Joanne Calderwood. Pineda, 18-10 record, 6 wins by KO TKO, 12 wins by sub. He also has 6 losses by submission. He's 20 years old and is a finisher. He is a wild striker. He's good into scrambles. Super aggressive. Always pushing forward. That's some good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills. He's a risk taker, but his cardio isn't that good. Regardless, I got Daniel Pineda to win this one. Who do you got?
I got Mr. Dinky Ninjas, Robert
Whiteford. Cool. So let's recap, my man. Okay, so in the main card we have Johny Hendricks versus Robbie Lawler. I got Johny Hendricks.
I got Hendricks.
Okay, Carlos Condit fights Tyron Woodley. I got Carlos Condit.
I got Condit.
Okay, Myles Jury fights Diego the Dream Sanchez. I got Jury.
I got Sanchez.
Okay, Hector Lombard fights Jake Shields. I'll go with Hector Lombard.
I go Shields.
Okay, Nikita Krylov fights Ovince St. Preux. I'll go with Ovince St. Preux.
I'll go with Krylov. Oh, did I go with the OSP too?
I thought you did.
Yeah, I'm going to go with OSP.
Yeah. Okay, on to the Fox Sports 1 prelims. Rick Story fights Kelvin Gastelum. I got Rick Story.
I got Kelvin Gastelum.
Jessica Andrade fights Raquel Pennington. I got Jessica Andrade.
I got Jessica also.
Okay, Dennis Bermudez fights Jimy Hettes. I got Dennis Bermudez.
I got Hettes.
Okay, Alex Garcia fights Sean Spencer. I got Alex Garcia.
I got Spencer. Okay,
on the UFC Fight Pass prelims, Frank Trevino fights Hene Forge. I'll go with Frank Trevino.
I'll go with Fort.
Okay. Will Campuzano fights Justin Scoggins. I'll go with Justin Scoggins.
I'll go with Bubba. Just kidding. I'll go with Justin Scoggins.
Robert Bubba McDaniel fights Sean Strickland. I got Sean Strickland.
I got Bubba.
And finally, Daniel Pineda fights Robert Whiteford. I got Daniel Pineda.
I got Whiteford.
Cool. So that's pretty much it for our predictions for UFC 171. If you have any comments, just leave them below. Got any final words, my man?
I do. I kind of wanted to ask you about this TRT ban thing. How do you think it's going to affect, people like Hendo, Chael, all those...
Vitor.
So the fight I think I wanted to see was Vitor fighting Chris Weidman?
Yeah. No, it's Machida.
Or Machida, yeah. So that's... When's that fight coming up?
May. As far as how it will affect them, I think, it's kind of funny, because TRT honestly wasn't, I never always felt it was like this magic drug, like all of a sudden, like, it helps, for sure.
What are you talking about? It totally helps. You have to, you get like an IV, right? And you're like pumping platelets or whatever through your system, right? So
yeah.
It's like,
but like,
I don't know.
As far as your skills go, it's not gonna teach you necessarily to be a better boxer.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the argument, though.
What's the argument?
I think the argument is, performance enhancing drugs. Does it enhance your performance? Obviously, Barry Bonds doesn't hit a. Barry Bonds is like one of the biggest juicers, right? Obviously, taking steroids didn't teach him how to hit the ball, but obviously it's, it
helps.
It completely allowed him to enhance his performance. So
here's the thing: people have used it before, like Bonner. Guys, it won't turn mid-level fighters into.
Let's talk about the fights that are coming up. Then we like the Weidman Belfort.
It's not happening.
It's not. Oh, that's not happening.
No.
What about? I don't know. Is Chael fighting anytime soon? Is Hendo fighting anytime soon? We're gonna find out the answers to these questions.
Chael's fighting Vanderlei Silva.
Okay.
Even without TRT, I mean, he's still a strong wrestler. It's not like
what if he loses? I bet he'll lose.
Okay, well, what if he loses? Okay. So you're picking him to lose.
But he's fighting Wanderlei?
Yeah.
Well, Wanderlei has a history of, like, stuff too, right? So, I mean, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I'm just wondering how much this TRT issue is going to, be affecting...
The fact of the matter is, there's only, like, less than 10 fighters on TRT in the UFC. I mean, the guys that, like, Chael would have beaten with or without TRT are the guys he would have beaten. You know, like, he loses to better fighters and he beats guys he can out-wrestle. I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't know how else to say it. Like I said, that's why I don't really see it as, like...
A big deal?
This weird... Well, I don't see it as some magic drug. I think the guys that Vitor beat are guys he probably could have beaten. It's not like, oh man, he's fighting Luke Rockhold. Well, if he didn't have TRT, man, he would have lost for sure. No, there's a very good chance he would have beaten Luke Rockhold without TRT. Obviously, it does enhance their performance.
I guess the answer to these questions, we'll find out, in the upcoming months and the remainder of this year. But I don't know. I feel like it helps them a lot. So, I'm kind of on the other side of the fence, I guess.
Like I said, I'm not oblivious to TRT. It will help you train more in the gym. If you're, you can train more spinning kicks, or you can just train more, obviously, in the gym because you're on TRT. So it does help performance. The thing is, I just don't think, like I said, I never thought it was like a magic drug that makes mid-level guys into elite fighters. Or elite fighters even into champions, per se. Maybe Vitor's one exception, But for the most part, that's historically... Even guys who have been on TRT still lose their fights. You know what I mean? Vitor's like the exception to the rule. Guys like Frank Mir's on a 4-fight losing streak. Rampage is on like a 3-fight losing streak. Hendo's on a extended losing streak. These guys are on TRT.
Alright, that's right.
You see what I mean?
Okay, I got you.
So yeah, that's been much it for MMA for you. Thank you guys.
And then just remember, there's a buffet going on at Q's Lounge, Rexy. We got some hungry people here, but yeah, Q's Lounge.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. That's it for MMA for you. Thank you guys very much.